Ooh, child, get it together, sis. Hey G Nation, it's your favorite nurse Jasmine, and I'm back today with another video. So today's video is actually going to be a semester wrap up. This is our last semester wrap up, sis. Like, this is it. We are done with grad school. We're done with school, period. I don't know how to feel about it yet. It's a little weird to know that I'm not going back to school and that I'm done, unless I like decided to become a doctor or like get my DNP. But as of right now, sis, we're done. School is over, okay? But I wanted to do the semester wrap up for you guys. I'm actually going to split this into two parts. And the reason why I'm going to split it up into two parts is because I actually had 3 clinicals this semester, and I feel like it would only be right for me to discuss that in its own separate video, so that way I don't make this video super long. But I'm going to tell you basically how my classes went and what I experienced my last semester of grad school, as well as my final GPA. So if you're interested in all of the tea, all of the goods, please continue to watch. Sorry if there's a glare off of my glasses, but my allergies are super bad now that I'm back in Texas, and I forgot how bad my allergies are here. So I can't wear my contacts right now because my eyes would just keep watering. So just excuse the glare, okay? Okay. So a general overall review of this last semester was, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be. I thought my last semester was gonna be like my make it or break it semester. Either you do good or you don't. Like, they're gonna hit us with all this raw material to prepare us for boards, and it was just gonna be like balls to the walls, like usually the last semester of any program is. If you've done your bachelor's or even your ADN, you know your last semester is generally your hardest semester. But for me and my master's program and the school that I went to, it wasn't, which was so weird. But you know what, I was all for it because at that point I was already burnt out, and then we got hit with this pandemic, so it was just a lot of stuff to swallow the last semester. So I was very appreciative that it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I ended up taking 2 classes and finishing my project. So basically I tell people that I was basically in 3 classes because I was, but even though on my transcript it looks as though I was only in 2. I ended up taking my clinical management FNP 3 course, 1 graduate elective, and then I finished my what is it called? Cumulative master's project, which is a project that we started at the end of last year. So it was spring of 2019 we started it, and we have been consistently working on it, and then the bulk of what needed to be finished, and we did that the last semester. So basically I was in 3 classes because I was responsible for assignments in 3 different courses. I'm just going to start off with my cumulative management FNP 3 class, and this is basically where we go over like patho, differential diagnosis, priority, all this other stuff, right? This semester we focused more, it was more of a refresher. We talked about things that we've already discussed. We kind of put everything together, and we focused more on like insurance, like Medicare, Medicaid, HMOs, PPOs, things like that, how to properly refer patients, more of the business, law, ethics, how to code, how to bill, getting your money if you're gonna practice independently, which I don't have aspirations as of right now to open my own clinic, but if you were to open up your own clinic, they did basically teach us like how to properly bill and how MPs could bill and things like that. And yeah, that is basically, we went over a lot of like autonomy and negligence and stuff like that, which was pretty freaking boring. And if you had a really good preceptor, they teach you how to bill properly, how to chart. It really wasn't as bad. The only thing that kind of throws me off is the same thing that throws me off every semester. He always throws the most random questions in our test, even if it's not something that we've discussed up into that exam. He's an endocrinologist, so you can guarantee that at least like 2 or 3 endo questions would be on the test. Like our final, we had so many hepatitis questions that I was like, bruh, we literally have not talked about hepatitis at all this semester. but that's just what we expect from him. He's been doing it since day one, which is why his test is so hard, because you never know where to pull from, and you just kind of have to know everything, and it's impossible to like know everything, but that's how he tests. So it wasn't as bad as previous semesters, because you know, usually your last semester is super hard, but in this case it really wasn't. So because of the pandemic, we ended up stopping classes, and our classes ended up being online classes about 2 weeks before we did OSCE. And our OSCE was, we only had one OSCE this year, and I killed it. Like, I was just like, I'm nervous and I can't control it, and my heart rate is high because my heart is about to beat out of my chest. And it was not that way this time. I was like the second one out of my group finished. I ended up getting a 98 on my OSCE, which is crazy because usually I get like 90s, between 90 and 93. And then on the low back pain is so freaking hard. But on the low back pain OSCE, I got an 87. So for me to finish my last OSCE with a 98, and I was like, yes. And basically my review from my professor was like, he can see my confidence. He could tell that I've gotten better, like my exams were better, my review of systems, knowing what to include in an exam and what not to include in an exam was good. And my addendum wasn't long because I didn't miss much. So I was very proud of myself and was super excited that I finished my last OSCE with a 98. Like, I was like, go me. I ended up finishing that class with a 93. This was the first time that I actually finished my clinical management class with an A, because like I said, his tests are always so hard. I'm usually on the cusp of an A, but honestly, you know, up until now, they were B's, but look, B's get degrees too, okay? As my graduate elective, this was my last elective that I had to take, and I wanted to take palliative care or forensic nursing. However, those were only offered summer 2020, which if I would have waited, that means my graduation wouldn't have been until the end of summer. I didn't have time for that. I was like, no, I need to graduate in May 2020. I'm not gonna hold it off for an elective. The only elective that they allowed us to do was the curriculum and program development. So basically, this is for those who had a minor in education, and I don't want to teach. If I did anything school-wise, I would want to be a clinical instructor, because I am definitely more of a hands-on person, and I like to show people how to do stuff, and they do it, and we make corrections if need be. This was all we had to do. Like, the class was easy, but it was tedious. It was so many papers. Like, we literally had a paper every 2 weeks that was due. And one time I literally didn't start my paper till the morning of, and it had to be like a 12-page paper, and I was just like trying to knock it out. And I was like, Jasmine, you can't do that, because even though it's easy, it just takes a lot of time. What we were supposed to do was create a program, create a course for a program. You could either pick a bachelor's program or a master's program, and think of a course that should be included in the curriculum that's not already included. So basically making up a course. So I chose to create a course for the BSN program, and I posted something on Instagram, and somebody just went all the way to the left with it, and I'll do a like story time about that soon. But I was like, listen honey, this is for a grade. I end up creating a communication with physicians and providers course that was in conjunction with your advanced or your advanced leadership clinical course, and basically teach nursing students how to properly communicate with physicians, because you know, in school all they teach us is SBAR. Like I said, we had papers every 2 weeks, had to give a virtual class, we had to do this whole long presentation and basically act as if we were the instructor. So it was really cool. It's a cool program, and I can definitely see how it would benefit someone who is minoring in nursing education, but it wasn't something that I was interested in, so I didn't want to do it. However, the 2 classes that I want to take were not available until this summer, so I took it, and I got an A. I got a 98 in that class as well, because like I said, it was an easy class. It was just very tedious. The last thing was my CMP project. My CMP project was which is the preferred method of treating insomnia in a primary care clinic using benzodiazepines versus cognitive behavior therapy. So I thought that would be a good topic, and I wrote this huge long 20-page paper on it. And then basically my last semester I was required to do the abstract, do the like a e-poster, because of course we had to do our poster online because we weren't in class, and then I had to give a presentation and then respond to other people's presentation and ask questions, get feedback and things like that. Yeah, it was not hard at all. Because the bulk of my stuff had already been completed. I just had to finish. It was like sprinkling, you know, the final touches on my project in the last semester, but we did do that throughout the entire semester. So that's why I tell people that it was kind of like a course. And that is a pass-fail, but we're still giving grades. So if you get less than an 80, you still fail. So my final grade in that class was a 95. So I finished my project overall with an A, but on my transcript, it just says pass. So if you fail it, you don't graduate. So it's still a class. See, I finished everything with an A. So my final GPA was a 4.0. Yes. So that was actually one of my New Year's resolutions that I had wrote down. And I was like, you're going to graduate on time. Check. You're gonna finish your last semester with a 4.0. Check. Now the only thing that we have left to do is pass sports the first time, which is what I have been studying for lately. Super excited to finish this last semester with a 4.0. So I have not been like 4.0 throughout my entire grad program, and I am here to let you guys know that you don't have to have a 4.0 in order to graduate. You can have B's. I mean, C's and masters don't get degrees. Not a thing, sis, not a thing. But you definitely can have B's and A's and like a mixture. You can have all B's and still graduate. The only thing you have to do is try your hardest, put in your best effort, and show up. That's what you have to do. And I set a goal this semester to finish with a 4.0 for my own personal reasons, just to show myself that I could do it, and I was able to do it. So all you have to do is work hard, believe in yourself, do the work. Like, you have to do the work. And if you do the work, you will be successful. So believe in yourself. I want to congratulate everyone who graduated this year. I know our graduations were not a thing, but you don't have to have a graduation to be proud of yourself and your accomplishments. And that's one of the things that I had to tell myself. So congratulations, no matter what you graduated from. I don't care if it's high school, middle school, college, vocational school, or trade school. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to stay tuned for part 2. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe now. Don't forget to thumbs this video up. It helps out a lot. And if you have not turned on the notification button, please do so now, so that way you'll never miss any of my videos. And until the next one, don't forget to stay boss up and conquer. Bye. Mwah.